Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're an oldie but goodie. Welcome if you're just was sitting around and clicked on this video by accident. Anyways, guys, got a little bead. As you can see, I'm in bed again. I'm just not feeling so great the last few weeks. I go tomorrow for my ultrasound on my legs and praying that isn't it horrible that I'm praying to God they find something wrong with me so that my insurance will pay to have the stent put in my legs, and I'm hoping that'll help with some of the tiredness. My asthma is acting up today. Just, sitting in bed, resting, sometimes it's just what you have to do, and that's what I'm doing. And as you can see, I've got my Alice in Wonderland Red Queen tea party, that diamond art that I'm working on. I thought I would do, they call it a whip and chat. I'm not really even sure what it's all about. I think you just kind of talk like if we were at each other's homes doing this together, is my understanding. As you can see, I've got my plastic pulled back. I've got my spacer that I made, my space marker, space marker, holding it down so it doesn't move. I have my little piece of wax that I put into the pen, and you guys probably can't see, but you can see there's a little bit of wax there, and all you do is you take the wax, put it here so you can see, you take the wax, I put it in here, I kind of squish it around till it gets some wax in it, and then I get that in. And this is the pen I showed you all on the Temu diamond painting opening. It's got the little glitter in it, kind of the little rainbows. And then my boat I have with my drills. So I thought while I worked on this one little part, I'd come on and just kind of chit chat with you and give you guys kind of an update on things that I'm doing. So as you can see, I don't have my light box on right now, and I'm working down here on, let me move this out of the way. I'm working down here on the table area, trying to finish that, and then I'll be able to start on the Mad Hatter. I'll start with him, work my way probably to the Red Queen because she's on the ends, and then Alice is in the middle, so I'll do Alice last. But I kind of try to do a little bit. So I'm working on the letter Y. I have my beads. One thing about this, though, there's a lot of beads or diamonds, drills, they're drills, that are the same color. So this is what I do. So I've got my wax, I put it in the boat, and I just pull out my drill. Now the only problem is with this pen that I got from Temu, and I find my letter, and I just put it on, and I've got wax. With this one, you can't do, you can't put a multi-spacer. Maybe, you know what, you might be able to, and I wasn't really paying too much of attention. Put a multi-spacer in. I just don't like multi-spacing. I already have problems trying to get mine to go straight, and what I've been doing is I've been using this, and I don't know if it's what you're supposed to use it for, but what I've been doing is when I see that it needs to be kind of spaced out, I'm kind of putting them in and just kind of wiggling it to make the lines a little, straighter. I'm trying to think what I was doing. And one thing about these canvases, I do have to say, and I said it last night, these are from Temu. Most of my canvases are from Temu. This canvas here is a Temu canvas. I do get my canvases from AliExpress. I do in Temu at the moment. Now, I know there's a controversy about the artist being paid. I highly, 100% agree that the artist should be paid for their work. I have artists in my family, and so I do agree with that. Unfortunately, again, as I had said, I feel this is a very good, relaxing form of self-care, and I don't feel it so much be priced out of it because they can't afford a $75, $50, $60, $70 painting from the companies that do the licensed art. Now, don't get me wrong before you say it. They do, yes. They do have paintings under that price. They do have paintings in the $15 range, in the, $20 range. But if it's not something that would interest you or makes you feel happy, that particular artwork, what is that going to do? Is it going to make, are you really, just because the price is at, a price point that you can pay, but it's not something you like, are you really going to enjoy doing the painting? So there is that whole controversy and that dilemma. And I 100% agree that yes, let's pay the artist for their artwork, but at the same time, let's not price people out of a way of self-care and self-healing, whatever they need this for. Let's see what else is going on. So, since we got that out of the way, like I said, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. Well, I'm going to get my ultrasound, a second ultrasound, because if the vascular surgeon said they definitely feel, especially my left leg, that with my percentages of the blood flow through the veins, I do have, I guess you could say, like, the veins are not blocking, but they're like closed, like they're not completely blocked, but they do have closure. Almost like if this is your vein here and it's fully open. Well, mine are more like, they're closed like about there. So what they want to do is put a splint in it to open up the vein so the blood can flow better through my legs. And that's for my deep veins. Now my superficial veins, she said that of course, they have issues also, but they're not as serious. And with health insurance, you have to, I guess, be at a certain percentage before they'll pay to have the stent put in, or you have to have, this is what gets me, you have to have been hospitalized with a deep vein thrombosis, or a DVT, if you're not sure what deep vein thrombosis is. So a blockage in your leg where you have to be hospitalized because you have a blood clot. Yay. But where the stent, you have to put the stent in to avoid getting a blood clot. I've worked in insurance for so long. I get certain things about insurance, but at the same time, it's like, let's get real. Let's get real. Okay, so that's what's going on with the legs. Now, having some gastric issues. I don't, been having it for about a week now. Not feeling 100. I know my grandmother had a lot of gastric issues. She would never, does anyone else have a grandparent? And if you do, and they're still alive, force them to tell you their medical history. My grandmother, if I would ask her things, was always like, oh, it's nothing you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about it. And I would say, but what if I do someday? What if that's something I do need to worry about? And I should have pushed her, and I didn't. It was my grandma, and, she was my person, and didn't push her, and I should have. And now I'm having a lot of symptoms that she had when she, was alive. Let me kind of move this because you guys aren't even seeing what I'm doing. So definitely push your grandparents to tell you their medical issues, or to write them down so that someday, if a doctor says, well, you can look at it. The doctor did say regarding my veins in my legs, that definitely is something I've inherited from, it's an inherited trait through my family. Yay, so much fun. Then, of course, things you shouldn't do, like go on the internet and look things up, because every time you go on the internet, you look up something medical, you're dying, everyone's dying. So, I was on YouTube watching a video, and this commercial came on. It was some doctor, and he was talking about thyroid conditions and symptoms. And, of course, every symptom he talked about, I have. The chills, the hot, the being cold all the time, the tiredness, the just everything he said, every symptom I have. I also have a grandmother who had her thyroid removed. My mother had thyroid issues. She said when she was pregnant with me, and to this day she really can't take any medicine that says if you have a thyroid issue or problem. So he was talking about the fact that the symptoms you could be having could be due to your thyroid, but when the doctor takes your blood work, everything looks good. So they say there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. But in reality, you've had every other test, you've checked everything else, and it is your thyroid. And he said it had something to do with the cells not flowing properly or connecting properly, like coming up against the picture had like here were your cells, and instead of like flowing freely amongst each other, it was like there were button heads like this. And he said it was called, if I remember correctly, thyroid deficiency. And again, it wasn't thyroid, but but again, your blood work could come up, everything's fine. So I think I'm going to call my doctor, get in, talk to her about having my thyroid really checked, not just the blood work. I mean, really checked, since it is something in my family that goes on. I think that would be a good idea. Let's see. Oh, regarding the American Girl Doll benefit sale, those of you who are going, I hope you guys have a blast. Things have just come up with Sabrina and I. One, she's been so sick. It just, whatever, there was just something going around the schools here. Strep, the flu, she's still kind of congested, but her fever is gone. That's what was the worst part. But we've come to find out that she cannot take, I think it's due to her blood disorder, she cannot take a cold medicine with Tylenol in it, because it would not break her fever. What was happening, her fever was just not breaking, and they wanted her to have cough medicine with Tylenol. So that doesn't work for her. So they ended up giving her it's an over-the-counter medication, so it's not covered under insurance, but he does it through a prescription, which he did, and I went and got it, and then could give her Tylenol separate, because she can't do the Tylenol, you do Tylenol, and then the next time instead of giving Tylenol, you give Advil. Sabrina can't do that because the Advil is a blood thinner, so we just have to watch that. Got this little bit over here. So once we took her off regular cold medicine and just put her on the cough medicine that he prescribed and Tylenol separately, her fever broke. Thank goodness. It just, whenever she starts with a fever, you just never know. So that's one thing. Another thing is, there are just some things that need to be done here that are more important than going to the American Girl Doll sale benefit thing. And I know they say it's going to be the last one. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully they'll find another charity that is deserving of it and can put it on. And those of you that are going, like I said, have a great time. Gonna miss you all. But you know what? Sometimes other things are just more important. And you got to take care of that first. And that's what's going on. So that's about it, guys. Let's see. Alright, so we got all that. This side's almost done. Look at that. How good that's starting to look. I'm happy with that. I'm looking to see. I think, I got a Y here. You miss them sometimes. You got to go back and look. And then the funny thing is like at night I'm like, okay, or when I'm done with it, okay, let me go back and see what I missed. I'm like, how did I miss a whole section, like 15 of this one letter, all in one spot? It can be strange. So I kind of got you guys all caught up there. We are planning to go to the beach sometime this summer. Not sure which beach. Probably the Georgia beach because they're closer. And I'd like for my mom to go, but we have to get a dog sitter. So that's a whole nother thing there. So guys, at this point, I hope this, I know it's kind of a something different, but I thought I'd kind of give you guys an update on what's going on. Just haven't really been feeling well. Trying to get on here every so often just to say hey. So I'm saying hey. Appreciate all of you. Be kind to yourself. Take some time for yourself and do some self-care. But I'm telling you guys, this is just, you can tell I'm talking. It's even just so relaxing just to sit here. And on that, guys, I'm going to say thank you. Have a great day, night, weekend, morning, and anniversary afternoon. And we'll see you all on the flip side. Bye, everybody.